Bonjour, mardi soir. Hello. To all my entrepreneurs. The day you decide to give up is the day before you were to make it all happen. Keywords, keep pushing, never give up, keep your dream up, and always remember the reason you started this journey first, in the first place. We all have been there, even though I don't know your personal situation, but there are patterns and there are signs, that you can um, point out and verify in a situation, any situation. And when it comes to small business entrepreneurs, we want to rely on our friends, siblings, and people we know, but we forget that they don't know us as entrepreneurs, or at least it's not clear to them how big we are, how big you are as an entrepreneur. So before you ask your brothers, sisters, and people who know you, who actually don't know you, to buy from you, make sure that they know who you are. Make sure that they know what you have to offer. Don't tell them where they can buy your products or order your service. Show them, demonstrate to them what you have to offer. Bring with you people that have benefited from your services and products. Let them speak on your behalf. They are best positioned into letting the rest of the world know how good you are. I do not think that it is really actually appropriate to go online and say, I'm good at this, I'm the best at this, actually deserve my roses and this and that, really doesn't mean anything unless you have people either with you or who decide on their own to offer a testimonial about who you are, what you stand for, and what you have to offer. This is really simple. If you don't have anybody yet because you just started, grab a few people and offer them your services for free. If your services are good, if your product if your product stands out compared to the rest of them, they will be more than happy to give you a testimonial in exchange of the free service, saving them money and also giving them the solution they have been looking for. I understand, but I also know when I get angry that other people may not have any idea what I'm going through. And that's normal. As an entrepreneur, we take a vow to offer the product, a complete product. We are not getting in business to whine and complain about being an entrepreneur. We should focus on bringing the solution people are looking for instead of running during our journey to the delivery of that solution. People should not know when the bank refused for the 12th time the loan that they promised when you were signing for your bank account. People should not know that you just got kicked out of the 12th room that you rented for the last 2 years. In the last 2 years, your family should not know that sometimes you cry in the dark. You will have some people who are honest and can benefit you during this journey. Hopefully, you will find a love partner that join you without you having to promise them that they will live on a lap of luxury once you reach such and such goal, just because they love you and they want to support you the same way you support them, regardless of you being an entrepreneur. But I have an advice for all the entrepreneurs out there. If you can't pay your bills, find a job, because financial stress, financial stress will push you further away from your dream. Again, work on your dream, evening, morning, weekends, whenever you get the chance. The rest of the time, find a part-time job or a full-time job that pays for your bill, for you, your family, and if you have children, to make sure that they don't resent you for being an entrepreneur. One thing that I always thought about, and as far as I can prevent it, not to bring humans' life to a life of misery. I understand you cannot plan a baby or baby. Sometimes they come by free. But you can make the decision that you will work and focus on that and that only as long as you can before you start a family, so that you don't end up bringing with you other that you inflect yeah, that you bring with you to the struggle. You have to be brave and not selfish. It's selfish to know that you get into a business and it may take years, not months, not weeks, years, dozens of years sometimes, before you see any profit. Jeff Bezos didn't see any profit well into over 20 years. The only difference with most entrepreneurs is that he's a good example of a genius who has who had on his side even a bigger genius than him, his wife. So I understand you cannot buy a spouse or a life partner at the deli or supermarket, but be careful who you're sharing your dream with, because there are a lot of dream stealers out there. Some people around you may not want you to succeed, not because they hate you, but because they are used to you, the idea they have of you. Anything else, they can't comprehend. It's not in the paradigm of things. So don't get mad. Just understand that on your way up, it's going to be most of the time, more often than not, if you didn't find that partner, a lonely ride in that third-hand car that you may have bought or in the subway cars of New York with your metro car. Do not give up. There are too many examples of people that have done it before you without you studying them and understanding that they didn't just land it on the seat of their dreams, being able to provide for their whole family, their children, the children of their siblings, just like that. In most cases, what you see is only the tip of the iceberg. There has been a lot of work that you can't see and that I suggest you do not show the rest of the people. They do not care. The only thing people care about is to know about what you do, and particularly if it's juicy, sad, and something that can make them look and feel better. I'm sorry, my brother, I'm doing a film. So you want to make sure, like I say, you want to make sure that you surround people that have your back, that are not in competition with you. You never know who is in competition with you until after they had said that you you can count on them, you put them to the test and they fail you. You have to learn as an entrepreneur to rely on yourself and only a few rare people that you can count on no matter what. And I do not suggest that you put all your hope and wishes on your spouse because your spouse actually should but does not have to support you. That's not their job. Unless this is something that you decided together. You understand the difference? It's not because you get with someone and that you're an entrepreneur and now you need money, you have to go and rely on her while they did not expect that to begin with. It's different if you say, look, we're going to do this, we're going to divide the plan, you're going to be responsible for this, I'm going to be responsible for that. You are actually not just your partners, but you are business partners. And if they fail you, that's not acceptable. See where I'm getting there? That's the same for a friend or a sibling or a parent who say to you, no matter what, they got you and then they don't. That's right there a letdown. But the only betrayal is always with yourself. What I mean by that is that you are always first responsible for anything that happens to you. I mean everything. Everything. Nobody else is. If you want to be that designer, that singer, that actor, that's your decision. That's nobody else's. So you have to put out the work before anybody else. You have to show the world that you are your number one fan, and you should certainly not go on social media and tell the world how depressed you are because people don't support your dream. You have to support your dream. And if this is an entertainment situation, then you have to make sure that you make people dream and not depressed. Do you think that people who have regular jobs don't struggle? Do you think that this is just because you have a business that you're the only one who has to pay bills? Ask yourself that question when you think that people who have no idea where you're coming from with this kind of argument have to hear you whine and complain over and over because you can't take full responsibility for what happened to you. The time that you spend complaining could be invested into reflecting, meditating, writing ideas, calling people, emailing people. Yeah, there is such a thing as calling people. You can still call people nowadays. I suggest you call them between 9 and 10 because after 10, most people in position of power do not pick up the phone. I learned that a while back when I started my agency and my desire was for my mouse to be on billboards. So I had to make phone calls and I had to reach humans that were able to make this kind of decisions. And I didn't wait to wake up at like, I don't know, any time where it was convenient to me to contact them. I knew that they would be more likely to pick up the phone between 9 and 10. So at 9:05, and from there on until 10 o'clock, I was calling them if I was not showing up right to their office. You have to be bold. Before you, there are some people who started in a mail somewhere, and this is facts, and became CEO of the company where they started as one of the mail persons. Michael Eisner is one of them. The lesion, which is a factual lesion, is that he slept on the doormat of the uh, manager of human resources so that he would be able to get that meeting one way or another on his way back or on his way out. Yes, it's a little extreme, but learn from this. Don't get discouraged. I'm telling you, if you don't know, that Michael Eisner became CEO of ABC, Disney, starting in the mail, and to start that job, he slept on the doormat of the A, the human resource people, so that he could get an impromptu meeting. I've met some of the highest personality that I can think of by just showing up to their hotel or running into them on the street. And if we already kind of were introduced on the street, obviously, then sharing with them a project where they could either invest themselves or get other people to be interested in it. Because some people, believe it or not, plan their schedule 2 years in advance. You might need 2 years to get an appointment with someone of influence because just like in fashion, they plan ahead. They have a personal assistant scheduling their appointment for the next 2, 3 years. And there is no warning about that. But what can make it happen is your attitude toward the world. Be positive, stay positive, and most of all, never ever give up. Djamee here. I hope you have a great week.